if you find yourself identifying with these things, I am depressed, I am anxious, just really think there is no actual benefit in doing that. How's it going, guys? Miguel here from CFS Recovery. In this video, I'm going to talk about feelings of anxiety and depression. Now, I might get some flack on this topic. There's probably going to be some people angry in the comments, probably defending, probably going up against what I'm saying here, but I'm going to make a bold statement and say that anxiety and depression, for the most part in recovery, as you're trying to fix your hypersensitive nervous system and have it function more optimally, you will have lots of feelings of anxiety and depression. Now, the reason I word it that way, I'm very specific in how I word it, because I think all of us in our lives, if you're watching this right now, you've been on a very tough journey up to this point, but I'm sure you've had lots of waves of anxiety, waves of depression, periods of time where you felt it more than others. And I used to think at that time, I was very anxious, I was very depressed, I was going crazy, I thought I was a lot of different things. Having been completely bedridden, being in that dark place and recovering, looking back now, I see it as something that was temporarily. When I hear people tell me I have anxiety, I have depression, yes, you might have it, but you more so have feelings of anxiety and depression. Because now we all know people who have depression or have anxiety, but if they have those things, people can tend to identify with those labels and those terms, and those can become very limiting versus saying I have feelings of anxiety and depression. Right? Because you do have feelings of anxiety and depression. Now, other people may have hormones that are out of place. They may have neurotransmitters that are deficient, which may be causing some anxieties and depression. But I like to say feelings of anxiety and depression because I think it is a temporary thing, at least in my experience. And everything I'm saying in this video could be wrong. And everything in this video is based on my experience with myself and working with many people with CFS or a hypersensitive nervous system issue. Now, there are times where they have felt happy too. There are times where they have felt excited. So don't they have happiness? Society doesn't really label them that way because I feel like emotions can fluctuate. You may have them for longer periods of times, but they are ever changing. We are ever evolving. So I feel like emotions come in waves. There are times when you're a bit happier, a bit more excited, times when you're more anxious and sad. And those are feelings, those are emotions. They come and go like waves coming into the shore and going back out into the ocean. It's going to be a constant cycle. When you're in the situation you're in right now, if you can't work or you can't live the life that you want to live, if you're limited in your ability to move around, if you can't hang out with friends, if you're stuck in bed all day, you're stuck at home, if you can't drive, if you can't enjoy the good foods you used to always eat, if you have chronic pain you're dealing with every day, of course, you're going to have lots of feelings of anxiety and depression. It just makes sense. And if you didn't have those feelings, I would question if you're a robot or if you're human. Because if you are a human, you will have those emotions. That's completely normal. How could you not feel that way? So I don't want it to seem like I'm invalidating those feelings of anxiety and depression. I had lots and lots of those feelings realistically. Sometimes I didn't even want to live. I didn't want to wake up. And I would be pretty upset as soon as I woke up, as soon as I came to consciousness. On the days that I could actually fall asleep and maybe get 2 or 3 or 4 hours, when I did wake up, the first thought was, why did I wake up today? Because now it's just another day of suffering, another day of being in this bed, being stuck, watching the world pass me by. Why did I wake up? I would have been better off if I didn't wake up today. So those are dark thoughts. Those were dark things to think about. I no longer think about that because my situation has changed, but I think placed in that situation, it's very common to have those thoughts. In terms of feelings of anxiety, I was physically anxious and mentally extremely anxious. Anything would set me off. If you watched a bunch of videos on my channel, you know how sensitive I was in terms of having symptom flare-ups, just going to the washroom, or just walking there, which was about 10 feet away. Just walking there 3 times a day would cause me to flare up with horrible symptoms, migraines, all of that stuff. I had headaches, and any small thing would make my body feel like it just had an adrenaline surge. And so I was wired. I had lots of feelings of anxiety. But as I started to get better, I was able to start to observe these feelings a lot more. It's very difficult when you're in the thick of it, but as you start to come out of it, you realize that was a state you were in. That was a temporary state, right? It's not permanent, because after recovering, I was a lot more excited, a lot more grateful, a lot more curious about the world. I was much more happy, and I didn't have those feelings of anxiety and depression. They came back a little bit here and there, but I never identified with it. I never walked around thinking to myself, I am depressed, I am anxious. I was able to look at it from a different perspective as something temporary. I have feelings of anxiety, I have feelings of depression. There are days even now, even though I have my health back, I can work full time, I can run this YouTube channel and talk to some amazing people like you guys, I can talk to some amazing people in the program. There are days where I feel anxious because of all the stuff going on, whether it's a book launch or a new thing we're introducing, new things in the program that's going to take a lot more of my time. There's a lot of risk involved in running a business, running a brand. Your reputation is on the line. So it can get very overwhelming. In addition to that, sometimes I wake up and I feel empty. It's very rare nowadays, or I'll just be driving down the road, and then if there's no music on, if it's just me in the car, I can have a thought cross my mind like, what am I doing with my life? What's my purpose? And then I'll remember my purpose is to help people just like you. And then those feelings go away right away. I think whenever I bring it back to my purpose, then those feelings, those temporary feelings are fleeting. They come and go. And so if you find yourself identifying with these things, I am depressed, I am anxious, just really think there is no actual benefit in doing that. This could be a 2-hour long video. We could go deep on this topic. These are the kind of things we talk about in Recovery Jumpstart as well, because it is a huge part of the recovery journey. But if you're someone who identifies with those things and say, this is me and it is what it is, you are not giving yourself the power to reverse that, because you can reverse it. And the reason I know this, I specifically asked my doctor who helped me get out of this. I said, hey doctor, I recovered with this neuroplastic approach that you taught me. Can other people recover like this from other mental illnesses or things like anxiety or things like depression? And he was like, absolutely, very possible. I've seen it many times before. It really comes down to the person who's experiencing it. Are they going to take control of it and put in the hard work needed to kind of rewire those processes in their brain, rewire their thoughts, rewire their patterns? And are they going to stick with it? Now, sometimes in certain cases, people do need medication just to give them a little boost, just to get the ball rolling, just to get that neuroplastic change going. So they need a little boost. When I was severely sick, as in I could not roll over in bed to the point where they were injecting me with blood thinners so that I didn't get a blood clot, that's how much I wasn't moving. They had me on an SSRI, as well as a mild anti-anxiety, to really just dampen the response of my nervous system, because just rolling over in bed, my heart rate would go like 130, 140. I get dizzy, I'd feel sick. So I needed that at that time because I was extreme. And it wasn't just for a day, it wasn't just for a week, this was months that I was stuck like that. So it was an extreme case. Extreme cases require extreme measures. But for the most part, I've seen people who they're mainly bedbound and they can't eat much, they can't talk much, they can't look at screens, light hurts, sound hurts. I've seen them get better without medication. So there's different levels to this illness, and just know that when it comes to feelings of anxiety and depression, don't identify with it. Because when you do that, when you say, I can't do this because I have anxiety, when you say things like, no, this isn't gonna work for me because I'm an anxious person, or, oh no, it's hard to think that way because I'm depressed, you are taking on the victim mentality. And that's not empowering anybody. That's not helping the situation at all. You want to do things that increase the odds of your success in recovery as much as you can. Now, obviously, if you have extreme feelings of anxiety or depression, seek medical attention, seek professional help. If you're watching this video right now, then I'm assuming you already have. And the thing with CFS is those feelings are very common. Like I said, put anybody in your shoes, they would be feeling the exact same thing. And just for you to wake up every day and get through the day takes a lot of courage. It's not easy. And every day is like a battle. It's a war. At least it can feel like that when you don't know what's going on. Once you start learning everything that's going on, then it becomes a very logical formula, just a few basic principles that you need to follow in order to inevitably recover. But before that, before knowing this information, you can feel completely lost and hopeless. And I get it because I was there. So there's a really powerful book called The Upward Spiral, which dives really deep into this topic of anxiety and depression and how you can reverse it. And a lot of the things they talk about in this book is actually very applicable to recovering from your hypersensitive nervous system issue. And the reason why is because it talks about the effect that neuroplasticity can have on your brain. Neuroplasticity is the key out of this, because the whole reason you're probably feeling this way is your brain circuitry has some kind of glitch where it's always in overdrive mode. It doesn't know how to regulate itself. And essentially we have to get rid of that glitch. We have to have these mind shifts to kind of reroute these neural pathways and get your body into a more parasympathetic state. One thing to note too is your mood swings, your feelings of anxiety and depression are directly correlated to adjustment periods. When you have physical symptoms flaring up, you are more likely to have these mood swings, more likely to have these feelings wash over you. And the more intense the adjustment period, the more intense those emotions will be. It's just how it is. But just know that it doesn't stay there. It tends to dissipate, and then it might fluctuate back. You might feel it again, and then you'll feel normal. Then it'll come back. So it's this constant wave you'll be riding until your nervous system is functioning pretty normal again. This video could have been 10 times longer because this is a huge topic. I wanted to keep it as general as I could just for the sake of time. And again, these are all based on my experiences and what I've seen. But the big thing is don't become a victim to it, right? Don't let it be your identity, because when it becomes your identity, that's not benefiting anybody. There is only a downside in that. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. It's like trying to dig yourself out of a hole, and I've been there, so I know how difficult it can be. But if I can do it, if other people can do it, if there's many, many books written on this topic, then you know it's very possible for you as well. Once you understand it, you don't fear it. Once you understand it, it becomes very logical. So if you did want to learn more about how all of this stuff works, we dive deep into these topics, and these feelings go up and down throughout recovery, especially during adjustment periods, they can be more intense. If you want to learn more about it, you can click the link down below. You can apply for the Recovery Jumpstart program, because this is one of the big things that we cover in the program to help people get through these tough times. And these tough times can come in waves. Some weeks, some days, you might feel good, and then the next week you might feel wiped out. And so it's during those times where the feelings of anxiety and depression are very high. And if you have some extra help, it just makes the journey a whole lot easier, because there's other people who know what you're going through. They're going through it themselves as well at the very same time, but they're helping you. They're relatable. They're telling you what you're feeling is very common, and you're not the only one going through this. You're not going through this alone. If you wanted to surround yourself with that kind of community, be on weekly coaching calls, get some extra help, extra clear direction on how to get out of this, make sure to click the link down below. You can apply for the Recovery Jumpstart program. You have to fill out some information to see if you're a good fit first, because we want to make sure we can help you. If you did get some value out of this video, make sure to comment down below. Let me know your biggest takeaway from this, how you deal with these feelings of anxiety, these feelings of depression, and what's working and what didn't work. So if you can share that, comment down below, because that's really going to help everybody on this channel when they can learn from other people going through the same stuff. If you did like this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And always remember, you are just one mind shift away from living a life with thriving health. See you in the next video.